That really helped me because I nailed that set. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I have another question from the comments section, and they asked, how do I smooth up my chord transitions and just make them faster? I have a practice tip for you, and it's all about visualization. So you don't even really need your instrument to do this. All you need is your mind. All I'm asking you to do is to close your eyes and to imagine what your fretboard looks like. A great way to practice your chord transitions and to really know if you know them is to visualize what you'd be doing on the fretboard. So for an example, I'm going to give you a C chord and a G7. So first, I tell my students to find the C chord, look at the diagram, look at their fingers, and then I have them find the next chord. In this case, it's a G7, one finger at a time. Okay, so they move one finger at a time. They're looking at the chord diagram. They're looking at their fretboard and their fingers, making sure that they have the correct chord. And then I have them transition back to that other chord, that C chord, and back to the G7. And then I have them close their eyes. Visualize the transition between those two chords. And once they've done that a couple of times, then I have them open their eyes and try to practice that transition smoothly. I started using this on my own practice time when I had 12 songs to memorize in a very short time, and I'm talking like 4 days. So what I did is I wrote all of my parts out by hand. Yeah, it took a little bit of time. But I wrote all of my parts by hand because that was a great way to memorize things. Once I had practiced, just physically practiced, then I would close my eyes, I would put my earbuds in, and I would listen back to the song. And then in my mind, I would close my eyes, and then in the air, it's basically air guitar. And I would just visualize where my fingers went on the fretboard. What it did is it really helped me practice my transitions from in and out of lead lines into different songs. And if I couldn't visualize it, and memorize it and close my eyes and see it, then I just told myself, like, no, you don't know it. You don't know it fully until you really can visualize where your fingers go on the fretboard and anticipate where they're going to go next. That really helped me because I nailed that set. And that brings me to another tip as well. I just thought about that because I just mentioned that I wrote out all of my parts by hand. Something that really would help you, I think, that if you found like a little chord diagram stamp, you can find them on Amazon. That was the best $5 I ever spent on Amazon, by the way. I don't know if it's $5 anymore, but it's just a little stamp and you put it on a stamp pad and it makes a little chord diagram grid, and then you fill in the dots. That would be a great way to memorize your chords. It's like, all right, now here's my quiz, my C chord. I have to write it in. Okay, now here's my transition to my E7. If you can write it out without having to look at anything else for another reference, and then pick up your ukulele, and then try your chord transitions, maybe that would help. Hey, there's another tip. There you go. 2 for 1. Don't be afraid to slow down. Don't be afraid to try something very simple and just work on your chord changes. Really build that into your muscle memory because that's going to serve you later for more complicated chords and maybe chord transitions that are faster, the ones that you're maybe not quite used to yet. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments section below, or if you have any tips about memorization and transitioning between your chords. So I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.